communism or Marxism in our ideas. Our political philosophy is representative democracy and social justice in a well-planned economy.
The revolution of 1959 was a major turning point for Cuba. This shift in power forced many to leave their homeland.
When I was 3 years old, my parents fled Cuba, along with thousands of others. People who enjoyed normal lives.
Many of us ended up right here in Miami, where we've established a strong Cuban community.
My family, my mother, my oldest brother and oldest sister, myself, and my father's grandmother came first to Miami Beach. I was fortunate to be able to get out of Cuba and be able to pursue my dreams as they formulated.
And the last image I have of my country, looking at the ocean in my little pajamas, and I have to remember this ocean, I have to remember it because I am never, ever, ever going to see it again.
My grandmother is, she's to me the most beautiful person on this earth, the one that I love the most. She's 93 years old. She is born and raised Cuban, and they lost everything.
Vivo en un país libre, ser libre, se puede perder todo, pero he ganado la libertad, y la libertad es lo más grande que hay.
And it's just very traumatic. It doesn't matter if it's a plane or if it's a boat or if it's an inner tube, it just wrenches your heart.
Thousands had to make this difficult decision to flee their country. People like my father.
Volé un tiempo en la Cubana Airlines, pero Fidel eventualmente llegó al poder, como usted sabe, y yo, que sí había leído un poquito y que veía un poquito más allá de mis narices, y todos mis amigos sabíamos más o menos lo que venía para Cuba. Fidel encantó al mundo y encantó a los cubanos.
The first few months were like Alice in Wonderland. We're changing the system to a democratic form, which is what we had dreamed about. Little by little, deception came. First off, he got rid of all the other groups that had fought alongside with him against Batista. And number two, he started to promote a campaign. What do we need elections for? You all love me, so elections, what for?
Fidel Castro's promises of a better way of life proved to be just words, and many Cubans became disillusioned. How was it possible that the once idealistic Fidel would turn out to be their greatest oppressor?
Throughout the years, nobody would believe us. Nobody would really believe the atrocities that Castro and the communist system were committing.
One of my cousins that was taken prisoner was a 15-year-old girl. She was going to be put on trial in front of her high school because she was being a traitor to her country. She was so upset and embarrassed that she said that if she had to be put on trial, she was going to take her life.
Cuando los padres de familia empezaron a ver que sus hijos iban a ser adoctrinados, reclutados para ser parte de un ejército militar, dijeron, tenemos que sacar a nuestros hijos. Y comenzó la operación Pedro Pan.
In 1961, they put me on a plane, and there was a camp here for boys, and there was another camp in Florida City for girls. Noel Martinez was in the same camp with me. He was 15 when he came out of Cuba.
Apenas 2 meses y un poquito después, acabado de cumplir mis 15 años, vine para acá, para los Estados Unidos, a vivir aquí en este país de libertad y de oportunidad.
Well, it was a wonderful experience, sad as it was, difficult as it was, because it gave me the opportunity to live in freedom. It gave me the opportunity to prosper and grow as a member of a free society. I'm eternally grateful to my parents for their awesome sacrifice and to those who had the vision to provide for this program. It was a very difficult thing. It was very tough. No one should ever have to live through that kind of thing.
When I left, I was on the plane, and at the airport, the only person that was allowed to go to the rooftop at the airport to see the plane depart was my father. And I can remember him to this day. I was 14 then. To this day, I can remember him. I can picture him in my mind. He was standing there leaning against the rail at the airport in Havana in a white Guayabera. And I was sitting on the plane, and the plane started to move. And I didn't see him for 4 more years. And I know it tore a lot of families up to have their kids depart. And the idea was that Castro was not going to be in power that long, and we could all come back. There was almost 15,000 kids that came out that way.
The initial wave of Cubans were really here temporarily. They always had the thought that they would be returning, which is obviously hasn't panned out that way.
Yo siempre digo que la tragedia más grande que ha ocasionado el señor Fidel Castro y su sistema en Cuba ha sido la separación de la familia.